preparing for this talk, where negotiation must meet wonder, I wondered if there were 12 words that I can give the audience to guide them in all their negotiations, what would these words be? Win-win, compromise, transparency, reciprocity? No. I found much better than that. Meet this gentleman, Ralph Waldo Emerson. Forgive the accent, in case you haven't noticed, I'm French. Ralph Waldo Emerson wrote a very powerful sentence. What will you have? Pay for it and take it. These are the most powerful 11 words to guide you in all your negotiations. And believe me, I was a corporate real estate negotiator for more than 15 years, and a good one at that. I was the top salesperson in my company, which was the European leader 3 years in a row, which makes me, believe it or not, a very fierce opponent in Monopoly. So there I was 2 months ago in Wuling Yuan National Park in Zhangjiajie, you know, the very nice mountains where they did the film Avatar. And I was having a game of Monopoly with my wife and kids. And what I wanted from the game was very clear. I wanted my family to have a great time. I wanted them to be happy. And I was willing to perform a little bit less. I was willing to defend my interests a little bit less. And I was willing to make trades which would not work that well for me in the negotiations. So I have a question for you. Do you really know what you want out of your negotiations? Do you need to be approved, liked, or loved by your negotiation counterpart? Or are you here to help them see the value of making decisions which will bring you more of what you want out of the negotiation? And are you willing to go for it with every tool at your disposal? Or do you need to be liked, loved, or approved? And are you willing to perform a little bit less in the negotiation? To defend your interests a little bit less? And to make trades that do not work very well for you? How much are you willing to pay for that smile on their face? If you don't know what you want in negotiation, you will always get something else. But even if you know what you want, without a strong why, you will not have the necessary willpower to go beyond the resistance that you will encounter in the negotiation. You will not have the strength to fight for your interests, to fight for these outcomes that you are paid to negotiate for. So you must protect your what with a very strong why up front. But it's not enough. You must also have a very clear how, because why will give you strength, but how will help you know if you have a fake yes or a real yes. You see, we are in Asia. And in Asia, yes means no. Or yes means maybe. Yes even sometimes means yes. So how will we know what we have for us? I was recently involved in one of those deals where I really wanted to hear that yes. Because it meant for me a very big assignment from a prestigious client to get a mission in conflict resolution. So after a little bit of back and forth, I made a very good proposal, and I heard the magic word, yes. So I immediately asked, how will you announce to your incumbent coach that he has been replaced? When I heard, well, we haven't thought about that yet, we'll think about it later, I knew it was game over for me. There is no real deal, there is no real yes if there is not a clear how. Remember, know what you want, back your what with a strong why, and with a clear how. And you remember the question? What will you have? Pay for it and take it. Every negotiation has a cost. Every deal has a cost. And there are the costs you pay before the deal and the costs you pay after the deal. Among the costs that you have to pay before the deal, you have to let go of what is called your cognitive biases. Your cognitive biases may be summarized as the things you know for sure, which simply aren't so. To put it simply, your need to be right. Because if you negotiate based on your need to be right, you may win the debate, but you will lose the negotiation. And some of you are probably telling yourselves, no, I'm not like this. It will never happen to me. So let's play a little game. You have seen this sentence. You have read it. So I will count to 3 and I will ask you to read it aloud. 1, 2, 3. When you think of it, okay, I'll read it alone. When you think of it, finished files are the results of years of scientific study combined with the experience of years. And now I'm going to ask you to count the number of Fs. If you believe there are 3 Fs, please raise your hand. I see a couple of hands there. Okay. If you believe you have 4 Fs, raise your hand. Many more already. If you believe there are 5 Fs, raise your hand. Wow. Impressive. 6 F. Quite a bit of people. And 7 Fs. Thank you very much. So there are actually 7 Fs. And the room was equally divided among subgroups of people who believe they were right. So I have another question for you. If we cannot agree on what is on a simple picture which is out there in the open for everybody to see, how are we going to negotiate contracts which we also see? We see the same thing, right? When we are not even able to agree on one simple picture and a number of Fs. I have a clue for you. Abandon the need to be right, because chances are you are not right, And even if you are right, it may not be that useful in the negotiation. Another cost that you have to pay is you have to abandon the need to win. You know, there are all these books, negotiate to win, negotiate the win-win deal, the winning deal. The problem with the need to win is that it will trigger resistance so strong in your negotiation counterpart that they will be willing to lose a good deal as long as they are sure that you lose with them. By the way, this is why transparency and reciprocity do not work that well. First, transparency and reciprocity are conceptual currencies, emotional currencies, that you ask from people who have no interest at all in giving them to you. Second thing, as you can see in the picture, transparency and reciprocity may well be the wolf of retaliation, disguised as the sheep of moral high ground. Which brings me to the cost of the deal and brings me to the fact that you also have to eliminate the need to feel good. The need to feel good is an ego protection reaction, and in a negotiation, only one part can feel good, and it's always the other side. So think of negotiation as no negotiation. It will serve you well. What will you have? Pay for it and take it. Know that it is not said, take it, then pay for it. Eliminate the need to make deals. If you have the need to make deals, you will actually make a lot of deals, but a lot of bad deals as well. And to make a lot of deals, you will compromise. You have to delay negotiation gratification. When you compromise, you are somehow using a negotiation credit card. When you use your negotiation credit card, you just made sure that you did not have to pay the price today to solve the problems you will have in the future because you made a quick deal that you needed. So, compromise is very dangerous because, yes, you have the deal. You even have the credit card slip in the form of a very nice picture saying win-win deal achieved. But the problem is that the problems stay the same, but the consequences compound over time. So it is very dangerous not to solve the big issues now to have better deals. So remember, if you want to make deals which stick in the real world, you have to look at negotiation through the looking glass in reverse. Have a very clear what, because if you don't know what you want in a negotiation, you will always get something else. Have a strong why to give you strength to face resistance in the negotiation. Have a clear how to detect the fake yeses. Let go of the need to be right, which will prevent you from having serene conversations to get what you want. Let go of the will to win, which will create extraordinary resistance in your negotiations. And finally, don't overdraw your negotiation credit card. So, if you do all this, you should now have the answer to the question, what will you have? Pay for it and have it. And if you are not sure, if you still need to be liked, approved, or loved, you can still play Monopoly with your kids. Thank you very much.